During this presentation, I will discuss how maps can be improved by applying design principles related to lines, the use of middle value colors, and color constraints. I'll cover 2 examples. This first example is a map of Ship Bottom, New Jersey. It's initially overwhelming and confusing for its audience of visitors planning a trip to the town. All of the bounding lines required to separate the white streets from the white background create visual overload that makes it difficult to discern the streets from the neighborhood lots. Although the use of white for the open pathways is consistent with viewer expectations, the streets are easily lost in the noise generated by all those lines. Additionally, the monochromatic color scheme does not provide any color cues, and it's not immediately evident where the land ends and the ocean or the bay begins. Here's the redesign. This new design implements a green middle value background for the street grid, which sets the foundation for greatly simplifying the design as a whole. According to the middle value principle, the differentiation between the white lines and the green blocks aids in our intuitive perception of what they represent, so the viewer can immediately distinguish the streets from the land plots. Because the open white streets contrast well against the middle value background, the bounding lines are unnecessary. By removing those lines, the viewer no longer needs to work to determine which is the street and which is the background. This visual simplification makes the design less overwhelming. Finally, in order to increase the immediate recognition of this being a coastal town, coded colors with universally used associations are applied. The coded color cues represent the land as green, the beach as gold, the bay as light blue, and the ocean as dark blue. Even without reading any of the map's labels, a viewer can identify this as a beach town at first glance. This second example is a map of Peddler's Village, an outdoor shopping village in Lahaska, Pennsylvania. It is dominated by the roadways and parking lots, while the actual shopping village pathways appear to recede from the viewer. The black bounding lines used to define the edges of the gray roadways and parking lots further emphasize those elements and add unnecessary visual noise. Because the audience for this map is a group of people who come to experience an outside stroll along the paths while shopping, the prominence of the roadways over the pathways is confusing. Although the dark colors of the shop buildings contrast well against the white background, the light color of the walking paths can be difficult to discern as it stands now. Also, the use of gray, commonly associated with inactive or unavailable items, could unintentionally connote off-limit areas when the viewer first sees the map. Here's the redesign. It focuses the viewer's attention on the most important elements by emphasizing the pathways and buildings, but it still retains clearly defined roadways and parking lots. Applying a neutral middle value background allows for greater contrast of the buildings and pathways, and directs the viewer's focus to the shopping village instead of the parking lots. The gray, which could connote unavailable areas, has been replaced with a light tan. The pathways within the shopping area have been changed to white to be consistent with the viewer's intuitive association of white with openness. To simplify the design and decrease the prominence of the streets and parking lots, the unnecessary bounding lines have been removed from those elements, so 3 lines are no longer being used to represent one street. Striated green is used to define the 2 village green areas that act as landmarks and assist in wayfinding within the complex. The striated green color is easily differentiated from the coded colors used for the buildings, as well as the background, and it plays on the common association of green with grass. For more information about these and other design concepts, refer to Designing Information, Human Factors and Common Sense in Information Design by Joel Katz. Thanks for your time.